All right. Yeah, whenever you're ready, Shane.
Go.
No pressure. You're the host now.
There's none. All right, everybody. Welcome to the 48th episode of We're All in the Same Boat. It's Shane here, and I'm here with Luke.
Hey.
And Austin.
Hey.
And you need to check us out right now on iTunes and SoundCloud. Make sure you are subscribed. Leave a review. We'd love to hear from you. Tell us your thoughts, your opinions. Even if you hate us, we would love to know. I'm sure you don't hate me, though, because I'm great. But also make sure you check us out on our social medias. Follow us, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at We're All in the Same Boat. And we love to talk to you there. We actually have quotes on the Twitter from our episodes. So if you listen and you like something that we say, let us know. And we will quote that on Twitter. Yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So how's everyone doing tonight?
Yes, very nice, everybody. Just letting everybody know that Shane has me captive and took over. He is the host today.
He is the captain now.
Ooh, I'm steering this boat.
Oh, yeah. We're all in the same boat and Shane's driving.
No.
He's
Oh,
like
for
a
sure.
small
Do you drive
nicer.
a boat? Do you drive a boat?
I don't know what you call it. Sail it, I guess.
I guess you say, yeah. We're all in the same
yeah, that's a good question. I have no
sailing
idea.
boat. I guess if it has a steering wheel, I would say drive.
I guess
That's
it'd
just
be.
me.
I guess it'd be steer the ship, or boat.
Steer the boat. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Not nice and
I
exciting
think-
like that.
if you had a car, okay, so you're driving a car, one person could be pushing the pedals and the other person's steering. Is that considered driving up top? I don't know how this stuff works. This is a dumb question.
I don't
I've
know
already lost
either.
interest in my own
I don't
question. So
really-
let's move on. So anyway, I do want to say that you make sure that you tweet at us at WAITSB podcast. We want to hear from you fans. So, everybody, I'm taking back over again. I got out. I'm steering. I'm
Free. The
driving.
duct tape is off his mouth. It's untied.
I'm driving
Maybe-
the boat now. I'm the captain now. So, guys, I wanted to ask you guys a question at the beginning of this podcast before we got into some of the main topics. I was thinking about the different things that people are afraid of and how they're all very different. Some of them rational, some of them not rational. And we have things like snakes. Kind of makes sense. Heights. Being trapped in a box. Bees. Wasps. Cockroaches. Rats. All these little animals and like places. And I was thinking specifically about animals. And I was wondering which one is the one you're most afraid of and why? If there's even a reason.
Which animal?
Yeah. Bees, wasps, snakes, cockroaches, rats, dogs,
Well,
cats, tigers,
I'm not.
lions.
So that just bears. Why?
Oh my!
Yeah, that just made me think about, because that is funny you mentioned cockroaches. I'm like, yeah, you know what? Why are people afraid of cockroaches? It's like we're like a big human compared to them, and they're this tiny bug. Yet we scream in fear when
Yeah, honestly,
when they're just minding their own business.
I kind of hate cockroaches more than bees. I hate them. They're just gross.
Yeah, they're
And
gross.
I said this to somebody once, and they thought it was kind of funny. I was like, cockroach. It's a quote that I actually have written down, but I was like, cockroaches are like poop that runs at you. So it's like, ha 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 ha! It like chases you. It's just gross.
Well, another thing about cockroaches is that once they get there, they're pretty hard to get rid of.
Yes.
They're very tough animals.
They don't
We're afraid
wanna
of them
die.
because they're invincible.
Well,
Yeah, they
I
don't
think-
want to die.
I mean, they might also bite. I've heard some people say that they
What?
do that.
That's not true.
I don't know if it's true or not.
Who lets a cockroach close enough to them to find that out?
I mean,
What
they
I
might
want to
just-
know.
They might just be like bud. Oh my god. They might just be like bed bugs and do it while you're
Oh
asleep.
yeah.
Cockroaches that bite.
Nightmare.
Yeah, imagine if cockroaches were poisonous. Oh, spiders!
Yeah,
I forgot about spiders.
let's not imagine that.
Spiders. But anyway, which one do you guys not like?
Yeah.
I just have the one that I can hold a snake.
Okay.
I can pet a rat, but like I hate cockroaches.
What?
And wasps. Wasps are like evil bees that are anorexic.
That's true. That are anorexic.
They're like they look like Grim Reapers, like skeleton Grim Reapers or something.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Wasps are a thing for me where it's like, well, when I see like a bee flying around, I'm just kind of like, oh, whatever, it's a bee. I'll just give him a wide room. He'll give me a wide room, and he doesn't want to sting me because it could kill him. Whereas a wasp is like, he could sting me as much as he wants. He could just sting me for fun.
Yeah, it's like a bee. I'm trying to think of a good example. A bee is like, yo,
got
dude,
a good example.
Let's keep each other at a distance because you don't want to get stung. I don't want to kamikaze you, so we're good. But like a wasp just looks mean. And they're just like, I'll sting you and fly away. And then I'll sting you again and get all my friends to sting you.
Actually, I don't really know what bees eat. Do they eat honey? Or is it just kind of a byproduct of everything they do? But the point I'm making is that it's a thing of the bee's sting is for self-defense. The wasp's sting is for hunting because they eat other insects.
The wasp is like, well, I'm gonna hunt you.
Yeah, I remember I saw just I'm trying to remember what exactly it was. I think it was like the cicadas had come out, and I think my mom saw a cicada in the tree, and it's like, oh, that seems really big. And it was like, and then this wasp that was like the size of my finger was just like eating it.
Oh man,
stuff, and it was just like, that's
yeah, those wasps.
I'm glad I've never seen that wasp again.
All right, so answer the question.
So I haven't answered the question, but before that, because we were just talking about bees, I only dislike bees because when I was in elementary school, it might have been middle school, either way, I was on the bus, minding my own business, just looking out the window, and all of a sudden, this bee decides to fly into my eye.
What?
And yes, flew into my eye, and I was panicking and crying for the rest of the bus ride because I did not know what to do. So that is why I hate bees.
It didn't sting you, did you? It just flew into your eye?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I know. I was traumatized for like a good while. But the animal, I don't really hate animals. I'm an animal person. But when I started to become really weary of rats, when I moved to New York, because the rats there are just huge and fat. And we had so many in my apartment because my roommates never wanted to clean anything. So there's this big fat rats that would just scurry across the floor. And one time one ran across my foot and I flipped out. Like I probably screamed louder than I should have. And I did the whole jump on the couch thing. And yeah, so if it's a big rat, then I have an issue. If it's a small, tiny one, I don't care too much. But big rats.
How big are they in New York? I heard you guys had huge rats there.
They're kind of
like cat sized?
No, not that big. They're probably the size of
like shoe size. How big are they?
Oh, okay. Maybe. Yeah, maybe like 11.
Oh man.
They're huge. Yeah, they can get, especially the ones in the subways. Yeah, that's game over.
I wonder how they get so big if there's just like food all over New York.
Yeah, they just eat a bunch of whole bunch of stuff.
That's kind of scary.
It is. No, it is scary.
I feel like every state has like their evil animals. Like in L.A., they had coyotes. New York is like rats, and I'm trying to think of Seattle. Seattle has bears, and bears are horrifying. I'm scared of bears because bears.
Wait, I thought bears were friendly.
No.
Well, some bears.
I mean, it's probably one of those things where we have bears here too, but it's probably a different kind of bear.
Yeah, I've never heard of a bear attacking.
You haven't?
Unprovoked.
Oh.
Unprovoked.
Well, there's stories, and they're horrifying.
I mean,
there's so many other animals that I would want to kill me over a bear.
I mean, I wouldn't
Bear
want
would be
any
probably one of the
animal to
worst
kill me.
animals to kill you.
I wouldn't want to.
Are these
I buy
bear
them.
attacks? Are they like Because I've always heard that it's like wolves are the ones who are like go out and attack people, whereas
No, I would
bear-
rather.
whereas like bears and tigers and things like that are more just territorial and like as long
I
as you stay out
would
of
rather-
their area, you'll be all right.
Well, the whole point is I don't care. Like if the
Yeah.
animal decides to kill me, I would much rather a wolf kill me than a bear. And here's why. I was listening to something about this. So, a wolf is going to attack things like a deer or something, and a deer is a pretty strong animal. Like a deer could kick a wolf in the jaw and break its jaw or something like that. And by the way, I'm quoting someone. This is not my original thing. So, a deer could like kick it. The deer could kick the wolf in the jaw and break its jaw, and then the wolf is done for. So the wolf is going to want to kill the deer as quick as possible. So the wolf will just bite its throat and kill it, right?
Yeah.
A bear doesn't care. So the bear's like, you can't hurt me. So they'll just start eating you. You know? Like, just eat your legs off, you know? They won't kill you first. So you'll be, like, alive getting eaten by the bear. So I would much rather something else than a grizzly bear because grizzly bears are out here. Oh, man, they're huge. And I love it, the way you're supposed to, what you're supposed to do with bears all the time, it's always different. It's like, run away, stand still, walk towards it, play dead. And it's like, I feel like if, you don't want to do the wrong one.
Yeah. So I guess because I kind of have 3 different animals that I'm thinking of. It's gross and I don't like the way it looks. Animal is the centipede. That's one that for me is just kind of like.
Oh yeah, I hate centipedes too.
Well, I think it's because it's like a combination of a snake, a spider, a scorpion.
They look slimy too.
Yeah. So. And it's one of those things where, like, I'm pretty sure they eat spiders. So it's like, okay, that's a very hardcore animal. Don't want to mess with that. I think they're also very venomous. Oh, my God.
Wait, what? Really?
They should be.
But venomous to us?
Yeah.
What?
Like spiders. Like black
what?
widows. Kind of.
How did he die? Centipede. That's really pathetic. Actually, any of these would be kind of sucky. How'd he die? A bee? A spider? A rat? Oh, that'd be so embarrassing.
Bear?
Well, bear, at least it's like, well, okay, that's
Okay.
pretty bad.
Well, then, what was the other 2? For the water, it's probably jellyfish. Just
really?
Because, well, particularly some of my fear of the jellyfish is less that it's, like, deadly, although some jellyfish are really deadly, like the deadliest things on the planet. But the ones around here, it's more just the fact that they're like little ghosts that will just kind of float around and just kind of like mess up your legs, and you just
like
won't even know.
Swim through it face first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess the fact that they're invisible, they're like little
They're the little ghosts of the
splinter
sea.
cells. Yeah.
Then the one for me where it's like I don't think I'd want to run into these in the wild, kind of like what you were saying with bears, is and I thought of this because you were talking about bears, is chimpanzees.
Oh yeah, chimps.
Those things are just.
Yeah.
I read a article about this family who had adopted chimpanzee, and they took it to a like a resort sort of. Well, not a resort, some kind of reservation zoo type thing.
Mm-hmm.
And they visit it there, and they there was one time they visited and because it was like its birthday, so they gave it like a cake or something, and there are these 2 other chimpanzees who did not like that at all. So their cages apparently weren't properly locked up, so they attacked the 2 people and just did horrible things to them.
Yeah.
And then the keeper people had to like kill the 2 chimpanzees.
Yeah.
And
I don't blame him.
He's like horribly mangled now.
Yeah, I've seen those things with the person has like no eyes or something, and like.
Well, they took off most of his fingers. They took off his nose.
Oh man, yes, that's chimps. See, chimps are like strong psycho people.
Yes.
That's why they're so scary. Yeah, I'll be honest. Yeah, chimps are this like the they're like the freakiest animals.
There's a reason it's called chimping out when people get really angry.
Is that a thing? Is that a phrase?
Yeah,
Chimping
I've
out?
never heard of that. Chimping out.
Actually, I said this
I'm
the other
start
day.
saying that to my kids. You're chimping out. You need to calm down.
Speaking of chimps, I'm going to say this because I said this the other day. I was talking about like what my opinion was on what were the worst animals, and I was like chimps, and then I said geese because they're so annoying.
Yeah, they're pretty
and obnoxious, and they know you can't touch them. Geese are like, "Ha! Come at me! You can't. You'll get in trouble." But then they'll peck you. They'll attack you. They're loud. They're passive aggressive. Like when they're crossing the road.
They're strong enough to like rip you to pieces.
No, I could fight off a goose.
Could
I'm
you?
sorry. I was reading something, so I thought we were still talking about chimps. My bad.
Oh yeah, chimp. You're game over with a chimp.
No, you know what really bothers me? I just thought about this when you said centipede, and I think this is more than rats for me. Slugs.
What?
I can't do it. I see a
Slugs?
slug and I quiver.
It's not, but it can't get you. It's like slug.
I know,
it's like coming at you in slow motion. I'll get you in
it's
5
just,
years.
That's it. It's the fact that it's just moving so slow.
They also
it's
don't
slimy.
do anything.
I know, but I just don't want to have to deal with it because when you
I
try
feel
and
like being
kill
afraid of a rock.
Hang on. Are you saying it's
No,
more
I'm not saying I'm afraid
Are you
of
saying
it.
it's a gross out sort of thing? Like
Yeah. I'm not
gross.
afraid of it. It just like it bothers me. Like I get so uncomfortable when I see a slug because it's just disgusting.
Yeah.
And then when you try to kill it, it just like starts like squirming, and then like it just. I'd rather not deal with it.
Yeah.
So whenever I see a slug, I'm like, why?
I just don't like things that suddenly. So crickets are kind of annoying to me too. I don't like that crickets can jump at 400 miles an hour. So it's just like at any moment it might jump on my face or something, Or squirrels, man. If a squirrel freaked out, just crawls up you real quick and attacks your face, jumps on you from the tree. Seagulls. That's the other one I said were evil. Seagulls are awful.
Oh yeah, they'll take your food at the beach.
I know,
They won't. They don't care.
Dicks. I don't like seagulls. They have an attitude.
Yeah, and pigeons. At least pigeons in New York. They don't give a fuck. Like honestly, they don't care about anything. They're not afraid of you.
Aren't they like the rats of the air?
Yes, they're the rats of the air and the ground.
Really?
They just walk all over the place. You can try and shoo them away, and they'll just give you like the side eye and be like, "I'm not afraid of you," and you're not gonna do anything.
The pigeon's like, I can fly. Can you fly? No.
Yes.
Try and catch me.
I've never seen a bird so unafraid of the human species.
What do you guys think of pit bulls?
I love pit bulls. I have one.
I mean,
You have a
ever
pit bull?
since I
Well,
got
he's
bit
half
by,
pit bull.
ever since I got bit by a little dog, I've always been a bit more afraid of dogs because it was one of those things like that little dog bit me and it hurt a good.
Imagine
bit,
a big
and
dog.
It put me to bed. It's like if it's a big dog that bit me, I just be like, well, I'm done. Please call the hospital because I'm gonna need someone to get my body.
Game over. Yeah, I think I like all dogs for the most part. I don't think there's any dogs that I don't really like, in principle. But I am kind of scared of pit bulls. I don't really
Pit
like
bulls are misrepresented, or whatever that word is. They are misrepresented. They are not. They are just lovable creatures, but they do have an aggressive nature when it comes to, like, at least speaking for my dog, when it comes to protecting his people and like his space, and they can seem very aggressive because of just their intimidation factor. I think is why people are afraid of them.
Well,
I don't think that it's cool that pit bulls are banned from PetSmart. That's BS. I still hate them.
I know that I've looked at the statistics behind it, and the amount of people that get attacked and killed by pit bulls is unbelievably higher. It's like 50 times higher than the next one down or something like that. But I do know that a big part of that is because people who get pit bulls kind of
it's how they're
tend
raised.
to but the reason that in my opinion doesn't cut it is it's like I never know how it's been raised. So if I just meet someone walking down the street and they have a pit bull and I go, hey man, high five. Next thing I know, I'm dead because the pit bull, was like, I didn't like that noise you made with your hands, And
what are you doing? Where's that hand
if
going?
If a chihuahua or like a small dog, it's like I can football that thing. Just, but like if a pit bull comes after you, there's nothing you can do. You're gonna die. Like it's like an alligator.
Feel you.
Well,
that's why they're kind of. It'd be like a tiger. It'd be like, what if 90% of tigers were all nice? It'd be like, yeah, I know, but if that one isn't, then
that or it's
I'm
just
done.
the nice tiger has an off day and just bats at you, and now your face is broken. Because that's what tigers are like.
Yeah. So I know it's kind of unpopular to say, but I'm not a big
I don't
fan
trust
of pit bulls.
any dog unless well, that's not true.
But I have met good pit bulls. That's the whole thing. It's like there's some really nice, sweet pit bulls, but I never know, and that's why like when I see a pit bull, I'm like,
How you raise it?
I don't know how that. You never know.
I mean,
That's
one
my
thing
side.
I've heard is one of the problems with pit bulls is that they tend to not have kind of the, I don't know what you call it exactly. Basically, they'll attack without warning, whereas like other dogs will like growl and be like, "Don't do that." Whereas a pit bull will just be like, "Okay, now I'm attacking because you've made me mad enough," or something.
Right. No fair warning or anything.
Yeah, that's what I've heard is for a lot of the actual attacks that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I do wonder if part of the reason why there's a whole lot of more pit bull attacks is because, and I don't know how to say this without sounding like I'm taking shots, but because there's people who kind of go to the other side of like, oh no, pit bulls are just the safest dogs on the planet.
Yeah, that's wrong.
Who says
That's
that?
wrong.
Nobody says that. It's just I suppose it's kind of hyperbole to make a point, but like there are people who are like, I don't know. I've heard people say that like the pit bull was initially bred to be a nanny dog, which I just find myself going, then why does it look like an alligator?
I get what I understand what you're saying, because even sometimes like if my dog, and he's only half pit, when he'll growl or something or try to be like all big and tough, even sometimes there's a few times where I've been like, you know what, I'm genuinely afraid right now because I don't know if you're going to attack me. I know you're not, but it looks like you are, and I'm uncomfortable.
It's funny because you're like, oh, well, they were bred to be nanny dogs, and it's like it'd be like The Rock, and it'd be like, oh, he was bred to be a nanny. It's like, well, he's in the wrong job. It's like, well, they got it wrong. Because those dogs are muscular. Have you seen like some of the jacked ones? They're scary. Just type in strong pit bull into Google Images. It's scary. They're like bodybuilder muscles on some of those dogs. But I don't know. I wish there was like an easy way to approach it, because I know that people that love dogs are sensitive about it because
I
they
just
think
want to
I'm saying that they're not like they're bad dogs. I don't think they're bad dogs. They're just kind of scary.
I feel like
I like tigers, but I don't want to meet a tiger.
I don't support the genocide of any dog species. So
right.
Just for the audience out there, when you type in strong pit bull, if you also then type in cute pit bull, you'll get a better image of what they can really be when they're loved.
Yes. It's like a chimp.
What if you type
if
in...
a chimp is nice, like chimps are funny, but if a chimp freaks out...
Let's see what we get if we type in strong, cute.
He's like flexing but holding a funny toy. What'd you get?
My gosh.
Wait, second picture on Google Image. Because he looks like he's going to kill you, but he has like not a big smile. Like he's just kind of small.
Now I'm looking at pictures of dogs. So another thing that I wanted to talk about today was YouTube Red. Do either of you guys have it?
No, it keeps asking me if I want to do the free trial. I feel one of these days it's just going to break me down, and I'm going to...
The peer pressure from the machine gets to you.
It always does. I'm like, fine, I'll try it eventually. Maybe if I try it, you'll go away and you'll stop asking.
It's like a kid, like, hey, can I have a... And eventually you're like, fine, stop talking to me. Go away.
Exactly.
I'm asking because I have it. I've had it for a while, and I actually like it. I know a lot of people are like, "Why would I pay for it? It's free. I just get an ad blocker." But that's only one of the features, is that you don't have to watch ads on YouTube, and you don't have to watch ads on your phone either. I mean, I every time I get onto someone's YouTube and doesn't have YouTube Red, I kind of get like annoyed for.
Well, yeah, because you're used to it now.
Yeah. But what I was going to say is the other thing you can do is on your phone you can download YouTube videos, which is really cool. So I'd be like,
yeah, that was kind of the feature that I was like, you know what, I would be interested in that feature.
Yeah, and then you can also like minimize the app and just listen to the videos, so you don't have to actually watch them. So if it's like something that's almost like a podcast, you'd be like, oh, well, I don't need to watch this video. I'll just listen to it. But YouTube Red has just announced its new shows for this year, and there's a lot of people unhappy because most of the shows don't have YouTubers. They have other people like Kevin Hart,
like actors.
Yeah, and Will Smith, and
now,
who's the other person? There's another person, but yeah, it was like all famous people, and I think people are kind of like, might as well just remove the U from YouTube. So it's just like tube. I'm gonna look it up.
Then
YouTube
obviously
Red shows.
It's gonna be them tube.
To me, that just sounds like, oh wait, I like Will Smith. I'm gonna sign up for YouTube Red. I can watch Will Smith. I'm not gonna watch Johnny X992 Call of Duty. Why would I support him?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I suppose another name they could give it is Netflix.
Well, that's what they're competing with.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I know.
Netflix. Where is this? I'm trying to find the article. I had an article on it. Come on, Google. I just want a list of this is what it is.
They're listening to the podcast now. They're blocking you from finding the information.
Yeah, yeah, really. Google's like,
I
have a lot on the line, okay? Good. I own YouTube, and like I need to keep people happy, so I can't let you read this. Where is this? I thought it'd be a little easy to find, so I didn't actually look it up beforehand. But anyway, well, that's that. So, yeah, people are unhappy because they think YouTube is changing, and I actually kind of agree with them because I don't like that. I don't want it to be. I don't want YouTube to turn into the new TV because think about what TV is like.
Oh,
right
it
now.
is. Oh, it is.
I know. Well, I know. No. I mean, I don't mind it being the new TV in terms of upgraded, better TV.
Yeah.
But I don't want.
I feel like a better way to say is
to
you don't
take
want it
away
to be
its
the new.
an intended purpose.
Would it be?
I don't want them to mess it up.
Yeah.
Would it be better to say you don't want it to be the new Hollywood?
Yeah, new Hollywood, new. Well, yeah, I mean, I still mean TV. Like, you know how TV is, where it's like, oh, well, you can only have, everything has to have a rating, and you can't have this sort of thing on TV. And
I mean,
it's like the censoring of changing. It's like, no, I just want everything that's available to be available, and I want to watch what I want to watch.
Yeah.
For free.
For free. So yeah, that's as far as that topic went. I did everything else.
I mean, it's
Find the article.
I'm
info.
I don't know. I don't know if I'd say. I think something YouTube has been doing for a while. I mean, I'm not a YouTuber, so I don't have any experience on that side of things. I watch a lot of YouTube.
Well, my good friend, you're in luck.
I watch a lot of YouTube, if that counts for anything.
That's a start.
I listen to lots of people who talk about how they were hit really badly by the adpocalypse.
Yep.
That
was one of them.
And now they all have Patreons.
I'm not allowed to make money on YouTube anymore because I don't get enough views.
No one's to make money on you.
That just seems mean.
I know.
Only famous people are allowed to make money here.
Well, I'm more annoyed because I had a life goal to get a check from YouTube, and you have to make $100 first, and I never made it there, and now I never will. So that makes me kind of sad, but that's okay. Things like that happen.
Now, Google, you've crushed this poor man's dream.
Wait a second. There's a TV show on YouTube Red called Do You Want to See a Dead Body? What? Too soon. What about Logan Paul? What?
Well,
This is so weird.
I guess this explains why YouTube didn't, deal with that video, and he took it down himself, didn't he?
Well, no, he got in a lot of trouble.
Well, I know he got in a lot of trouble, but from what I remember, a lot of people were angry because it's like, why is YouTube doing nothing? Like, they get on all these other things, but Logan Paul's suicide forest video was fine. Maybe this is probably why YouTube wanted to see dead bodies.
So this has kind of been happening for, well, I think since kind of last year, but they had a new announcement last week about the Boy Scouts of America and how they're going to be allowing girls into all of the programs now. Before it just used to be girls could be a part of the Venture Scouts, which is post high school. And I do not like this at all, that they are changing the program to be it's going to be a co-ed program, but there's still going to be all boy troops and all girl troops. And I've been getting into a lot of arguments with people about this on Facebook, which is something I never thought I would do, because everyone has been saying, oh, allowing girls into the Boy Scouts is, just attending to the liberal agenda. And I said, you know what? I don't normally agree with many, and I put in air quotations, conservative standpoints, but this one I 100% behind, because I think it's quite stupid decision to change 108 of organizations kind of can't think of the word I'm thinking of.
Brand.
Yeah, structure, just for the sake of, and I think, and they're trying to say it's because they want to include everyone, because inclusion is a huge thing right now, and the second women's rights movement is coming into play, and I completely support all of those things. I support inclusion, I support women's rights, but I don't support women being the Boy Scouts of America. And I also don't agree with the Boy Scouts of America changing their name to changing their name to go with this. Like, they're changing their name from Boy Scouts of America to just Scouts, and then they're still gonna keep BSA, which is Boy Scouts of America, so that doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's becomes Scouts BSA.
Do we know it's Boy Scouts of America and not something else that means BS?
Well, bullshit, America. I know that
Babysitters of America.
I'm looking at this here, and it says Boy Scouts of America doubled down Wednesday on their quest to become the scouting program of choice for boys and girls, announcing they will drop boy from the name of their signature program. So it's basically a marketing campaign called Scout Me In. Yes. Okay. Let's look at this, because I actually don't know that much about this yet.
Okay, I'm gonna read their official statement from the chief executive of the Boy Scouts of America. As we enter a new era for our organization, it is important that all youth can see themselves in scouting in every way possible. That is why it is important that the name for our scouting program for older youth remain consistent with the single name approach used for the Cub Scouts, which is they're changing the name to Scouts. And then
I know they're leaving Cub Scouts because it's gender neutral. They're not changing that one.
Yeah, well, actually, no. Cub Scouts just became gender neutral just last year.
Oh, well, I mean, the name is not.
Oh, yeah.
Now,
they were chanting Cub Scouts too. I'm like, you know what? I'm just done with you guys.
So it's just going to be called Scouts, right? So Scouts of America.
Yes.
Shoot, I had something.
So hang on.
what I want to know is, so like Boy Scouts is going away, and Girl Scouts going away?
No. And this
What?
is where, yes, exactly.
Wait a
This is where
second now. That's exclusive.
Yes. Thank you.
What's going on?
Here's
Wait,
something, because here's something I heard from some girls who were Girl Scouts. They said they didn't like it because it would take away from the Girl Scouts by making the Boy Scouts gender neutral. Because now instead of girls going to the Girl Scouts, they're just going to go to the Scouts.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So they have Girl Scouts and Scouts.
Yes. So my main issue with this entire thing is, like, I don't mind co-ed programming. I run a co-ed program, and I feel that there's many benefits. The issue I have with their just being Scouts, or soon to just be Scouts, and then having Girl Scouts, is that girls have options to choose from. I mean, let's be real, they're probably not going to Girl Scouts, so they have this kind of better option. But they have the choice between Girl Scouts and Scouts. And Scouts is a co-ed program, and Girl Scouts is exclusively for girls. Now, the boys don't have anything that they can kind of call their own. And everyone, or at least some people that I were talking to, were talking about, oh, that's just insecure masculinity. You don't need anything of your own. And they said, "Of boys, and I said, okay, that doesn't make any
the fairness in this.
That it's not fair at all. And I was talking to like my mom about it the other day, and she doesn't agree with it either. So all the girls that are like up my ass about this, fuck on that. But
boy,
it's because
person,
yeah. And it's because, like, the whole point, and I was a Boy Scout, so this is why I like feel like very strongly about this. And a lot of people that were trying to like talk to me about this were neither a Boy Scout or a Girl Scout, so I don't see where their opinion is validated. But Boy Scouts is for young boys to develop young adult men under the mentorship of older men, sort of guide them. That's the same thing for the Girl Scouts. Now, some girls were saying, "Oh, I would have been more interested being Boy Scouts because they do things, hiking and building things and
make your own club."
Yes,
I don't understand.
And so Girl Scouts. So a lot of some of my friends that work Girl
learn
Scouts
how to
were
tie
saying,
knots.
Yeah,
in
but
another
they do
building.
That. They do that in Girl Scouts. So these people are just.
What's the difference between Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts? Besides the cookies,
they're different and the cookies, and I would have rather been in terms of that aspect, because someone just said to say the Girl Scouts are just glorified cookie pushers. Those cookies taste and sell 10 times better than the Boy Scouts popcorn. That's all I'm going to say about that.
I wonder why.
Exactly. What was I just saying?
Well, we were comparing them, and I was saying,
so,
why
yeah.
You said girls, they tie knots in Girl Scouts.
Yeah, they're two different
they're
two different organizations. And I said, if you don't like the way that your program runs and the activities that your program offers, wouldn't it make more sense to develop your program to offer those things for you instead of trying to come into another program?
You know what? I was just thinking about this. I didn't realize that that's the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts were different organizations. I didn't realize that.
Oh, you thought they were the same?
I bet you, if I was running a company and was like only guys, and then all of a sudden was like, hey, wait a second. If I can get guys and girls, that will get me more money, and I can pretend that I'm doing it because it's progressive. So then everyone who's progressive will... It's a business move. This is a business move.
It's a straight business move.
I hate when business moves are disguised as like, we care. No, you're trying to make money. It's like when someone's like, oh, we're gonna get rid of the paper cups or whatever at work because we're trying to go green. No, you're trying to be cheap. And it just so happens that you can pretend like you're being green. That's why I hate that kind of stuff.
Preach.
So, Shane, would you agree that the Boy Scouts of America are, at least to some degree, to prepare men for military service?
Yeah. I know a lot of people who were Boy Scouts, became Eagle Scouts, and then joined the military.
Yeah. So, if that is sort of at least a function of the Boy Scouts, and now when it was the Boy Scouts made, women were not allowed to serve in those forms of the military, but now they are.
Yes.
Wouldn't it make sense to open that up to women?
Open up
the Boy Scouts to women so that they can also get ready for military service.
No, because it's the Boy Scouts. If you want to,
yeah, but
if
I mean,
you want to be,
well, but hang on,
I know what you're saying.
Wait, guys, but you could say that the army was the Boy Scouts.
Yeah,
because they would have all been men.
Well, what are you saying?
No, I know what he's saying. He's saying, when the Boy Scouts was first formed, it was, in comparing Boy Scout training to be military prepared, and now that women can be in the military, shouldn't they be able to have those same opportunities? And I do, and I think that the Girl Scout organization should just tailor its programming to allow that to happen. Or, because like I've said, I'm fine with co-ed programming. The scouts or whatever could have even if they wanted to just add a program specifically for girls. I don't think combining
it's so weird.
The middle
that's
programming
my whole side
to take away the whole boys aspect and something that can be just for boys to have, just to be inclusive,
right.
Because
so
we're in 2018.
With this movement, the problem I kind of have with it just and kind of this whole stuff in general, is like, I think it's really important for when you're young, when you're a young boy, when you're under 18, to be around girls. I think that's important. But I also think it's important for you to not be around them. Like when I was young, it was like I went to co-ed things, and then I got away from girls and just hung out with guys, like when I was a kid. Because when you're that young, you don't know what you're doing yet, and like girls are scary, and like it's nice to just be around guys because we don't really understand girls yet, because it's different. And so it's, I think, beneficial to have programs that's like, I can get away from girls for a little bit because I'm a young kid and girls are stressful and they don't make sense, and I just want to be around a bunch of guys and push each other around and wrestle and fight and whatever, I don't know. I do think that like we're taking away something that is important for young boys to grow. At least in some ways. Yeah,
I do. I 100% agree with everything that Luke just said, and I probably wouldn't be as like annoyed about it if even if it was like, okay, the Boy Scouts and the Girl Scouts are just combined together. And I would be kind of more okay with that than the Boy Scouts just getting rid of itself.
Well,
kind of.
What's the point? Like, hold on, let's go back and let's look at this a little objectively. What's the point of the Boy Scouts? Like, what were they made for? What's the reasoning? Why do they exist? So if I go onto their Wikipedia,
obviously, do you want like the official like?
Yeah, I mean, like if it's like, oh well, Boy Scouts were made to get people organized in a certain way and have a certain amount of discipline. Okay, well, I guess if you're adding girls to that doesn't really break the mission statement of the original thing. I actually don't know. I'm actually kind of asking to say, like, let's think about this objectively. It's kind of weird. The reason I have a problem with it a little bit is because I think everyone's trying so hard to be inclusive that it's almost getting in the way of things being exclusive in a way. I think that's kind of good sometimes.
Yeah. To answer your question, Luke, the BSA's goal is to train youth in responsible citizenship, character development, and self-reliance through participation in a wide range of outdoor activities, educational programs, and at older age levels, career-oriented programs, partnership with community organizations.
Okay, so
Hang
that
on.
statement alone makes
where
me
did-
think that it's not necessarily bad to have
when,
girls
when,
in it based on that mission statement.
Where did that come from? Where did you get that? Is that like on the website or something?
No, that's from their wiki.
Okay. I guess the big thing I'm wondering is because it said youth, and I was wondering how old is that statement, and has it been modified at all in recent years?
If it's on Wikipedia, it's probably the most recent one, just because someone would have updated it. Because what I'm wondering in general is like, well, I do think that the Boy Scout. Well, wait a second. Okay, so I think the Boy Scout membership, I'm sure, has been dropping. I think it's getting smaller.
Yes.
I bet I can look at that.
They're
This is a business. This is just a business move.
The chief person of the Girl Scouts said in an interview that instead of trying to include girls into your program, she's focusing on the 90% of American boys that are not. I don't know how accurate her information is.
Right. Yeah, let's just say that's the funniest part is that like this move is kind of putting the Girl Scouts in jeopardy a little bit.
Girl Scouts said
So
we're never
ironic.
allowing boys. And I say that's right, you shouldn't.
It's like this article says Girl Scout leaders said they were blindsided by the move and are gearing up an aggressive campaign to recruit and retain girls as members. It's kind of funny. I don't know. It's such a weird. So many of these things happen, and I just am like, who wants this? Is this something people wanted? Like, are there that many girls that are like, I want to be in the Boy Scouts instead of being in the Girl Scout? I don't know. It's like, do girls want to be in the Scouts with guys? Is that something that a lot of them want?
I don't.
I think it's the programming.
Antecedents that I've heard from people who are in either the Boy Scouts or the Girl Scouts. But it sounds to me like the Boy Scouts do a lot more stuff, and they do a lot more, I guess, crazy stuff. Like, hey, let's go out somewhere and all do blacksmithing, or go do shooting, or camp for several days. Whereas, like, most of the Girl Scout stuff, I haven't heard anything really of them, like, even going camping. Just like, oh, well, we do charity stuff for people. We bake cookies. I don't know.
I mean, did girls want to do that when these things were started? That's kind of where it's like.
Yes, they do, because my friends even like commented on my status when people were talking about it, and one of my friends, he said, my Girl Scout troop, we did camping, hiking, and we built benches with power tools. That's right, girl.
Yeah, but I guess what I'm getting at
depends.
is, to me, it seems like her troop was the exception rather than the rule.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, Girl Scouts are not going to be like, let's go to the shooting range.
Whereas, I think of all the like Boy Scout troops I've heard of, I've only heard of one where they didn't do crazy stuff, and that was like, the other one's like, yeah, you guys are a bunch of lame people.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, no,
I don't know.
I understand the girls who kind of, because there are some. This is no sexist correlation behind this statement. There are some girls who want to do more typical girly things, and they don't want to
That is
dirty or whatever.
Extremely sexist.
Yes, that's why I prefaced. And and then there are other girls who want to do things that are more typically seen by what guys do. And I completely understand that. And I do think that they should be able to have those opportunities and to express those desires. But I don't think that means you have to do it with the program that the boys are doing. But I still think that, I don't know. I just think that, and I don't know anything about the Girl Scouts and how they work and whatnot, but I don't see how they couldn't have, well, I don't know how you would do it without kind of having like a program more developed.
If I go back to when I was a kid, I did not want to be around girls.
Well, here's
right.
The problem.
I wanted to get away sometimes. Like I remember there was times where it was like like the cootie stage of like no girls, and then I got older. But even when I was in my teens and I liked girls, I still was like I was nervous. I would get nervous around them. It was sometimes a little bit stressful. I didn't know what to say. I was still kind of figuring them out, and so I liked having things that I could do away from that. And I feel like if we keep pushing this, it's like now no young boy's ever going to be able to get some time to just kind of be different, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I see it, I guess. It seems like I feel bad for kids that are going to grow up in a world where they can't ever just kind of get away.
I mean, I find myself thinking, like, people will make that spot if it all gets taken away from them. So they'll just find some other way to do it if they really want to. But
you mean like another group?
Like, it will be some kind of, like, it'll just be a bunch of guys who go off into the woods and do weird things. Maybe a cult.
That's right. Let's go build fires and tie knots around things.
And kill goats. I mean, I suppose the big problem I see with the thing and how we're all going about this is that, at least to me, it seems like fundamentally when we look at it, the Boy Scouts is sort of a sexist organization. And the problem is, like, well, are they allowed to do that? Are they allowed to be like that? Because we have it in our minds now that it's like, well, all sexism is bad all the time, every time. But then we get to things like medicine, where they go like, well, they treat women doctors treat women differently from men. And it's like, well, yeah, but that's because their biology is different. And you can't I don't know, I can't get into all the details of it because I'm not a doctor, but
right.
I find myself going, the problem is that we've set it up so it's like, oh, well, we can't exclude women from anything. It's like, then we have to get rid of the Boy Scouts. But we don't want to get rid of the Boy Scouts. That's what it seems like to me, at least. So we either have to we have to get rid of one of those ideas.
Oh, shoot. Coughing up a storm. This just got me all choked up, guys. So the other thing that I was thinking about, like, what does this mean for, like, the YMCA? That whole song is going to go away eventually.
You mean
the
Y?
It'll be like, the YPAA or something.
Well,
It'll be like, Young Human
they
Association.
I mean, they already just call it the Y. So.
Well, yeah, but that's just easier to say than the YMCA. It's just like the Y. But, I mean,
yeah.
It's just kind of funny to me. It's the fact that it's the Men's Christian Association. They have to get rid of men, get rid of Christian, get rid of young. We'll just call it the association. No young people. What about old people? Men. Well, what about women? Christian. Well, what about other people? We're just going to call it the association.
I think this is a large statement, but I think this all stems from I'm in full support of this movement to a certain degree. Well, that takes away the full support.
I'm fully supportive, except that I'm not fully supportive.
Well, I mean, like, I think it's getting out of hand, but this whole, like, I'm just, for dramatic sake, a woman's uprising that is starting to happen. Like, just think of, like, all the sexual assault cases that have been coming out, or women talking about being underpaid, and, like, it's, oh, a woman says this, every man is guilty that happens. Oh, women want to get paid more, let's pay them more money. It seems like we're kind of just, as a people, starting to just give them everything they want, and they're like kind of just demanding more and more and more. And it's like, okay, you want to be equal, but it's not equal if you start to have everything and you start to become the superior. Then is that really equal? That's not really equal then, because it's not equal that the girls have their own organization and the boys don't.
So let's go make a bunch of signs. Let's go make a bunch of signs and march around the Girl Scouts cookies. Like, we'll walk up to the stores. We'll walk up to the stores of the Girl Scouts are selling cookies, and, like, slap them out of their hands and call them sexist.
Well, I mean, I'm gonna sound really sexist.
Where are the Boy Scout cookies?
But
where are they at?
You notice there's a lot of stuff of, like, girls want to get into guy things, but there's very few examples of guys wanting to get into girls.
Well, that's the one thing I was gonna say is like on principle. I think the thing that that I don't like about a lot of this stuff is, how do I explain this? It's like people are knocking walls down just because they're there, but not because anyone cares.
Well,
So it's like this is a little technically like humankind or like mankind. Do people really care? But it's like, no, we have to say person kind because we can't. And it's like, dude, nobody
cares except for you, the person complaining.
And it's like, no, we have to get rid of it because it's technically there. And it's just like, oh, it just seems like a bunch of effort and money towards stuff that it's like there's so many other things that we could be trying to put time into fixing.
Here's the thing you need to understand. Virtue signaling is a lot easier than fixing problems.
Yeah.
So it's like I could, do anything, or I could complain that some girl went to prom wearing a dress that looks like something from my culture.
Yes. Thank you for saying that.
We need to get somebody. We need to get somebody on this podcast who disagrees with us to discuss this stuff.
I sort of.
There should be nothing to disagree with, though. That's the point.
I was sort of trying to be devil's advocate earlier with the Boy Scouts thing.
No, I see both sides. I see both sides very clearly, but I agree with my side.
Mm-hmm. It's the
like I see where you're coming.
Like, I see where people are coming from, but it's like you're putting so much work into something that it's like this. In the grand scheme of things, we could be putting so much more time and money into other things that are more dangerous or worse or whatever. And this sort of thing, it's like this is such a waste of time, given the entire world and what's going on. I don't know. It's just.
I mean, you can say that about.
Well, I mean, like, okay, so a lot of people talk about like different charity organizations that are taking and pocketing most of the money instead of giving the money to where they're designed to go. That's like a huge problem, but most people don't talk about that. Instead, we're talking about like, well, we got to get girls in the Boy Scouts.
Well, no, because it affects like youth. It affects youth development. Like if you're low in membership because there's a lot less boys signing up to be Boy Scouts. So your solution is, instead of bettering our program, our marketing, or making it more interesting for the youth of today to want to get involved, but instead of doing that, and your solution is, let's just let girls come in. You are then going to, I know, I can probably ask all of the kids that I work with right now, would you join the Boy Scouts if girls were allowed in? And I'm pretty sure 95% of them would say no, I wouldn't. So therefore, you are just, over time, the boys enrollment rate is going to drop, and then you're just going to be a girls program.
It is possible
and then
that
it's to be a joke that for 100 years you were a boys program, and then in 10 years, because we're so progressive, you're just going to be an all girls program, and what's the point?
I can see
it becomes Girl Scouts too.
I can see it being possible that
Girl Scouts without cookies.
Like, we'll just say somehow more boys join. Problem is, they probably wouldn't be the kind of boys that you want in the Boy Scouts. They'd be the kind of boys who want to be around girls.
That's true. All of a sudden, the Boy Scout... No, it's like girls are allowed in it, and then all of a sudden the boys skyrocket, and all the girls go away. It's like all the girls join, and then a ton of boys join, and then all the girls leave. That's what people were saying about, like... I think someone said, it was about the army when they were letting women into the army and stuff like that, when they let gay people into the army, and people were like, well, what are we gonna do about bathrooms? And then someone it's just funny to me. There's no political statement behind it. Someone was like, well, because gay guys are attracted to men, it'd probably be awkward to put them into showers with men, so I guess we'll put them in the showers with the women or something. I don't know. Like, they were just saying that. It was this dumb conversation. And then we all started laughing because we're like, oh, man, then out of nowhere, a ton of people in the army, like the amount of gay people that go in the army just skyrockets. All these guys are like, oh, yeah, I'm gay. I'm totally gay. So I get to go over there. That's exactly what would happen, too. on that note, I don't know what to leave with this stuff. Like, I don't know where. I don't know. Like,
I'm not
really what's the
signing
right thing.
I'm not signing my son up for Boy Scouts or Scouts BSA. If there are girls allowed in the program, fight me.
See, there's a part of me that with these things goes, well, we just have to fix this, and because there's the other part of me that goes, well, maybe this is how Rome fell. They just were like, you know what? Where it's one of those things like, oh well, they have to have better programs to, get more boys in. Maybe there's a part of me that goes, well, maybe it's just. This is me being like ultra pressing, but like maybe just boys aren't as good anymore, so they can't do it. They won't do it.
I don't know.
So then they go to girls, but the problem is girls don't want to do it either, and it's just gonna go away.
Mm-hmm.
On that cheery note.
Yeah, game over. The whole Boy Scouts are over.
Well, just to summarize or wrap this little topic up, at the end of the day, it is a poor excuse, and like Luke said, a business move to up your membership rate, and it's sad that after 108 years, this is what you come up with to quote unquote better your program and better the development of our future leaders, as you quote unquote say. Try harder, Boy Scouts.
Try harder.
Be better.
Be better. Be prepared.
I wish I would have loved to have someone on the other side debate this. I got to figure out a way to get more people on here that disagree. I just haven't figured out a good way to do that. Just in terms of like, do I post it on Facebook? How do I get them interested? I'm working on that.
Well,
but anyway.
And this, I don't know, just in general, and I think Facebook is partly responsible for this because now everything has been made so we can so like customize what we see that we can just block out all the alternative voices who are saying things we don't like. So, it could very well be one of the reasons we can't find an opposing voice because. And this could go both ways. We do it as well, but they don't like what we have to say. So when we go, hey, do you want to come on and argue this? They don't even get that message. They've already blocked us.
It's possible. I'm trying to set up ways that we can get more debates on these podcasts. Like I have a couple people that are willing to debate certain topics, but I don't know who they're gonna debate with. But anyway, yep. That's my little. Working on it.
Yes.
That's the work in progress that I still have to do. But yeah, okay. Let's wrap up this episode. Unless there's anything else you guys want to say on the topic before we stop.
What do we feel about, just because I'm in an argument right now with some people on Facebook. How do we feel about fanny packs? And specific,
I do not own one.
Specifically, fanny packs, like men wearing / using fanny packs.
I feel like if you wear it in some way that makes it look more like a utility belt, it's not so bad.
If it's not on the front, I feel like on the front is like the. That's what makes it worse. Like that's the worst.
It's like a middle-aged mom if you wear it.
Yeah. like if you have it on the side, it might be all right. Maybe. I don't know. I've never tested this.
I have no idea. I don't
probably
care.
won't.
If you wear it though, I'll probably make fun of you because I just don't care. But I
mean,
it's so random. What's the argument? What are you guys talking about? Like whether or not you can do it?
No. So they're saying that.
Shayne, I just want you to know that now I'm just imagining you're wearing a fanny pack.
Okay, and as you should. No, just kidding. They're saying, she said, I just can't imagine guys going into stores and being like, yeah, let me get that fanny pack, or getting robbed and being worried about their purse, because they're saying it's basically like a purse, or bag. This generation is different. Like women can't have anything to themselves what could you possibly have in there? And I said, I mean, I like fanny packs for my job, like when we go on field trips, because I can keep like my phone in there, or like Band-Aids, or like our contact information and things. I don't have to have a full backpack, or like all these other unnecessary things. But I wouldn't necessarily wear one like as a fashion accessory or something. Then now I'm getting gangbanged by two girls saying saying that we don't like it at all on men. And I said, what does that have to do with you? I said, it only affects the person that's wearing it. Why do you care?
That's right.
Much?
It's like the girl will be like, I need some help fixing my. You're like, good thing I have my tool belt. Like, I'm like screwdrivers and stuff. Like
people.
I've
seen
guys.
many, yeah.
What you say is they're not wearing that to impress you. Stop being so self-absorbed.
Exactly. Like, women can't have anything for themselves. I said, no, boys can't have anything to themselves. What about the Boy Scouts? Can they wear fanny packs? But
I'm ready to just go on a full-on rant about how, like, there's this whole idea where, like, there's women don't have to do anything and men have to do everything. Like, women don't have to shave their armpits, but men still have to find them attractive. Women don't have to lose weight, but men still have to find them attractive. And it just seems to me like it goes on and on, where you have all these things like, well, no, if you don't do this, and this is partially men's fault, because they're like, well, if you don't do this, I'm not going to sleep with you. And I think more men need to just be like, fine, the human race can die out.
Yeah.
Everything just ends. Yeah, I find that, like, in general, I just want everyone to kind of I don't know. I want everyone to kind of understand that I think it's difficult to be guys and girls. I think it's difficult for both.
Difficult to be a person.
Yeah, and I wish that we would spend more time, like, kind of helping each other instead of complaining and explaining to each other. Like this, you have to do things the way I think you should do them. Your life is easy, my life is difficult. I just feel like being a human is just difficult in general. And
it's a lot
people would just
easier.
Work together instead of bitching at each other.
It's a lot easier to complain than to solve an issue, or to, you know what I mean, develop something for. It's a lot easier to just complain about it. That's what I've noticed about a lot of things. Complain a lot, but don't actually do anything.
Well, it's the I don't know, it's the sucky people on both sides that ruin it for everybody else, because all guys think of all the horrible, awful girls out there that exist, and that influences the way they think, and then vice versa, right? So girls think of all the horrible guys that they know, and then think all guys are like that too, and so then the good ones on both sides get angry because they receive all the flack from like, and they basically, everybody clashes against everybody else, and I don't know how to solve it. I really don't.
I know how to solve it. Let the human race die.
That's right. No more sex, anybody. Everybody just stop. No more children. Yep. Okay. Dying. Oh, that means you have to end. Okay, the podcast is over. So plugs, Shayne. We always end when someone's dying. That's the way it goes.
Yeah. So, check out the Pop Talk podcast that I host. You can check that out on SoundCloud and iTunes. Our most recent episode that will be coming out when you hear this episode, we did like an artist spotlight on Adele because she just celebrated her 30th birthday. So we talked about Adele, her music and whatnot. Follow me on my Twitter, Mr. McCatty, MrMccatty. I've been trying to talk more about things and share my opinions, and I've actually been having conversations with people, not about anything too serious, but I realized, you know what, if I just talk about things and just tweet my opinion, people will kind of respond, and then I can either argue with people or have people that agree with me. So that's kind of cool. So talk to me on Twitter. I would love to talk to you. And yeah, some cool, exciting things coming near future that when I have more information, I share with you guys.
Okay.
Musical coming soon.
Very nice. Awesome. Austin.
I got nothing.
Okay, now I gotta go. You can tweet at me at Luke Roxwold. You can also follow me on Instagram. Check out my YouTube channel because I posted a vlog for the first time in months, and it's gotten the most likes out of any vlog in like the last, I don't know, 8 months, something like that. It's been a long time, so a lot of people have really been liking it. I'm planning to release a new vlog every single Sunday to get back on track with that. Now that the film's done, I can do that now. In addition to that, nothing. You can tweet at the podcast at WAITSB podcast. We would love to hear from you. And honestly, this podcast is a little controversial in some ways. We talked about a lot of things, and we didn't really have people disagreeing very much. So if you found this podcast controversial and would love to say your opinion, you're more than welcome to. Because I'd actually really like to get you on here. Because a big part of this podcast is to get people to debate and talk things out. So if you have an opinion that you would love to have heard on this podcast, we'd love to have you on. So that's it, everybody. Thank you for listening. Please check out our other episodes if you have time. Ooh. Actually, even if you don't have time, why don't you do it anyway? It doesn't matter.
Do it.
Leave us a review. Tweet at us. Tell us what you think. That's it. Thanks, everybody. And...
outro music.